Friends, this is part 2 of SEEMA. You definitely want to know what happened then. A shameful incident literally broke Seema's back. She had tolerated so much indignity, insults, social embarrassment, and marital rape, but to see her two young daughters being offered as barter for the liquor which Arvind had consumed was just beyond her tolerance. Arvind had crossed all limits of civilized behavior, and Seema too had crossed the limits of her patience. Seema had tolerated Arvind's alcoholism. However, she could never condone this degradation. First thing she did early next morning was to ring up Mr. Gokhale and ask him to immediately come to her house. She knew that Arvind would not wake up till late in the afternoon. As soon as Mr. Gokhale came, Seema poured out the whole incident to him. He was shocked beyond words. The girls' final exams were around the corner, and she could not allow them to face such a horrible, traumatic situation again. Putting aside all her self respect, Seema requested Mr. Gokhale to take both the girls to his house until their final exam. He had no alternative but to oblige them. His wife and he were the only people who would help them in such a situation. No sooner had he agreed than Seema packed their bags and sent them away with him. Seema heaved a sigh of relief. Thank God the girls were safe. Here I am reminded of the exemplary courage showed by an ordinary milkmaid Hirkani, who had climbed down the dangerous Raigar just to be with her small infant whom she was nursing. These circumstances had turned the docile Seema into Hirkani. She was not going to let any vultures devour her daughter. At this juncture, Mr. Gokhale advised Seema to take legal action and he brought her to me. She knew that the company was offering VRS since many a times Arvind had threatened her that if she kept on interfering in his life and stopped him from drinking, he would take the VRS and go somewhere and leave them high and dry. Before he could do it, Seema wanted to know her rights and how could she protect herself and her two children. Seema was very clear in her mind that she did not want a divorce. She was about 45 and had no desire to marry. She wanted to know that besides divorce, what reliefs could she ask from the court? She was unemployed with no roof over her head. How long could she stay in Bombay in the office quarters? Arvind had almost stopped going to office. He had no salary to his name, so it was not very long before he was thrown out of the quarters. Now that the girls were temporarily in a safe place, she could think clearly and take firm decision for the future of all three of them. Luckily, it was at the end of the academic year. She had no alternative but to go to her parents' house in Alibag. The girls could continue their education there. There were colleges there. Luckily, she had all the documents about Arvind's employment, the salary slip, all his allowances, everything. She had the staff number, which made it very easy for me to apply to the court for issuing a warrant directing the company to attach his salary. Seema's case was so watertight that the court granted her maintenance and injunction restraining Arvind from disturbing her and the two daughters. Arvind did not bother to appear in court. He had no face to come to court. Seema had his medical papers, his office attendance sheet, and all the papers required to prove his financial status, including his policies. It was easy to get orders from the court, but how does one execute them? And against what does one execute them? Seema had shifted to her Alibag to her father's house. Her two meals were taken care of, and of course she had a roof. After finishing their exams, the girls too had shifted to Alibag. But in spite of the order for maintenance, as well as the warrant for attachment of the salary, there was no money coming to her since there was no salary payable to Arvind because of his absenteeism. At Alibag, friends, another shock awaited her. Her mother had passed away, and her father had been living alone in a small roofed house with a small outhouse. Seema thought that she had come home to the safety of her maternal home, but she was shocked to find out that her father was having a very comfortable arrangement with his maid servant who was living with him and who, of course, did not welcome Seema into their twosome. Old Daddy was in a quandary. How could he displease his lady love? He could not send away his daughter also. So he allotted the small outhouse to Seema, and Seema gracefully set up her home there. Seema was a very industrious woman. She started a creche in her father's outhouse and started making homemade snacks like chakli, chivda, laddu. She was able to make some money for her own personal expenses. The elder daughter took up a job in a computer class and was also further studying there. The younger one, who was good at maths, started giving tuitions, whereby she also was earning some pocket money. It was indeed heartwarming to see the trio fight out the odds of life so bravely. However, in spite of all the court orders, there was no money coming in since Arvind was not earning anything and he had no property to his name. How could she execute the orders of the court? He had not a farthing to his credit. Seema had done whatever she could legally to protect her two girls and herself. But the matter was over in court, with order passed in her favor, but they were mere paper decrees. I have written to the insurance company as well as to the company, served them with the copies of the court's order. If the person does not pay the amount directed by the court, the applicant can put him in jail. However, that putting him in jail, that exercise costs money, which Seema could not afford. She was earning some meager amount just to carry on with her daily life. Friends, there's a higher power that rules the destiny of men. I've been reading this sentence in the High Court outside the Central Court, where Lokmanya Tilak's trial was held. In every case, this is proved beyond doubt. Suddenly, Seema got a call from her relative that Arvind had passed away, and they wanted her to come for the last rites. The girls were adamant against her going for the funeral. However, Seema wanted to close this dark chapter of her life. She had suffered all her married life and wanted to drop a final curtain on this sordid drama. She did go for the funeral and surprisingly found that she had no ill feeling for Arvind. She prayed that he should find peace in his life beyond. She was finally free to lead her life without fear or the shame of a drunkard husband. Hearing this news, I told her to apply for his death certificate and furnish the same to me. I immediately wrote to the company, sending a true copy of the death certificate, duly notarized, giving the names and addresses of the heirs of the deceased, that is, Seema, Usha, and Asha, requesting them to send whatever was due to these three women. I also requested the company to waive the need for succession certificate and later of that they would give whatever indemnity that they would desire. Because of his past report, the company was aware of Seema's flight, and of course, because of my correspondence, they did not make any fuss in paying his dues to her and her daughter. LIC too sent her the policy amount. At least after Aravik's death, Seema was comfortable in life. She had sufficient money for her old age. She got the older daughter married to a very good boy who spent entirely for the marriage. Seema came to me after a few days and was very happy to tell me that now she's leading a very peaceful, quiet life and happily seeing her children flourish. Thank you. Thank you for your very patient